Hello everyone and welcome to Sacked in the Morning, the football podcast coming to you live on the opening weekend. Not when you hear this, but it is for us. So give us a bit of slack. My name is Richard. I am your host each and every week. This week I am joined by Tom. How are you, Tom?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much for asking. And we are also joined by a gentleman making his Rich T Entertainment debut. Debut. The debut. Oh, he's had a great debut there. Lee, how are you, Lee?
I'm very well, gentlemen. How are yourselves?
Very good. Thank you very much for asking. Tom, do you want to answer the man?
Yes. I'm good, thank you, Lee. Thank you very much.
Good.
So, Lee, just introduce yourselves for us. If you could tell us a little bit about yourself, a bit of what team you support, a bit of your footballing history, just anything that comes to mind, just like the first day of school, stand up and tell us something about yourself.
The dreaded first day, stand up and tell the teacher in the class.
Yeah, the dreaded first day, for sure.
Yeah.
As I introduced, I'm Lee, big Brighton fan. Used to play semi-professional, but had an injury, so had to give it up and couldn't play anymore. And just all round big football fan, and season ticket holder at Brighton. So that is me.
So a good day yesterday then.
Oh, it was an amazing day. Yeah, it was great. Well, obviously it's great the Premier League's back, but it was even better going there and seeing a Brighton team with new players. I know it's only Luton, they've just come up, but just seeing them win 4-1, it was a great day.
Wins a win, isn't it? Got to see James Milner playing in the flesh for Brighton. What more could you want?
Yeah, the legend that is James Milner.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's just seeing him play. He's just different quality, absolute different quality.
We're big fans of James Milner.
I mean, I know I say it ironically, but he's a good player.
No, I know, but no, I don't say it ironically. I think he's genuinely a good player. He's a boring mother, but he's sorry. But I like watching him play. I think he's a good player. He's just boring in real life. But he admits that. He admits that himself.
Does look a bit country fold as James.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah, these are my cows. Yeah. So you excited for the new season? Are you happy down there at the Amex? Lost a few players, but
just the atmosphere down there near the end of last season as well, when we made Europa League. It's just. I mean, De Zerbi's just made it a really good atmosphere down there. And
you're looking forward to European nights, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Can't wait for the Thursday night football to be here in Brighton. It's going to be a great one.
It's going to be strange, isn't it? Seeing Brighton.
It's going to be fun and interesting. I really hope that they give a good showing of it, and that they don't really. Their season doesn't flop because of it, because I know it can be hard on smaller teams with smaller squads, can't it? So you hope it doesn't have too big a knock on.
Yes, it's a bit of a tough one because you've got a small squad, and then you play in Europe and Premier League, so it can sometimes affect it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this story with this Leeds player today, Nonto. The Italian guy.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to play, like he wasn't in the mood to play in midweek. Did someone offer? Everton put an offer in for him, and then he came out again on Saturday and said he wasn't in the mood to play in the Championship either. So he's essentially just gone on strike.
I'm not
just to get a move. He's 19 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
19. And he's already going on strike to force a move away.
It's ridiculous, and I think the thing with players now is their agents.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Mental.
I can't be bothered to go to work now. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
It's not in the frame of mind to play.
Yeah. Sainsbury's have come in with a better bid, and I'm just
away. If only. Yeah,
I heard Tesco's want me.
Yeah, I've heard rumours. They've been putting like sneaky little things out on Twitter and stuff.
That's it. The general manager came out and said, I was a good player.
Yeah. Yeah. He says,
good team player.
The boy's got talent, you know. I see him front and centre on the tills, to be honest with you.
Oh, my God, that's not a promotion. I wouldn't be signed for Tesco.
No
way.
What's the promotion in a supermarket?
They're paying me a lot of money. They pay me a lot of money to do that.
What's the promotion at a supermarket? Sorry,
literally just do nothing.
Oh, okay. I want him in the back office. He's got back office written all over him. This young kid, you know, he's got the talent to go far.
That's it.
Well, anyway, thank you, Lee. I appreciate the introduction, and welcome to the show. Hopefully, it'll be the first of many.
Hopefully.
Oh, one thing I did want to mention, just before I forgot, sorry, we got into a discussion about social media and stuff like that. You also have your own Brighton fan YouTube channel, that's correct?
Oh, wow.
I do, yes. I do it with my eldest. She's a season ticket holder as well at Brighton with me. And it's essentially just every match day vlog of the home games and away games when we can get them. And sort of during the week, sort of games that I don't go to, do a reaction video. The channel's called Up the Albion. So if anyone wants to go and have a look, it is on YouTube. Feel free.
Yeah, I've checked out a few of the videos.
Have you?
Interesting
Write it down.
view from the stands. Don't worry, Tom, because I will
send me the link.
Put the link in the description.
In the description, yes. Thank you.
But yeah, anyway, shall we get on with the show?
If you want, I guess.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Supposedly it's my job, so.
Yeah.
Tom, you had something that you wished to talk about today.
Yes, I have something I'd like to say. Yes. I guess we'll be doing our predictions at a later date and discussing like transfers and stuff.
I mean, predictions usually come after the transfer window with us because, I mean, you can do pre-season predictions. We don't have a problem with doing that, but we've always just done it when money's on the line. I'd like to have a full scope of the story because you could look at it and go, yeah, they're not going to do anything. And then all of a sudden they make a blockbuster signing and you think, oh, wow, that's exactly the player that they needed. And
exactly. I've done all my predictions. I've written everything down, but I'm still like, there was one result yesterday that made me go, I don't know. But, So what I want to talk about today is, like, is there anything you think that any team in the Premier League or beyond is missing from the transfer window so far and anything they need that they haven't addressed at the moment? Basically, I mean, I've written down quite a few. For example.
I mean, I'm not the greatest person to ask because of this, because I'm really bad at keeping up with stories. I'm host of a football show, and I'm really bad at keeping up with the football news.
I can tell you,
I'm here for my charisma, all right. I'm not here for my knowledge, okay.
Right. So I can tell you, there's a lot of teams I think that need strikers at the moment. Really,
okay.
Obviously, I would say Wolves at the moment.
They got rid of Jimenez, haven't they?
Got rid of Jimenez. They haven't really replaced him with anybody.
Diego Costa still there?
No, he's gone.
No, he's gone.
Not that he didn't do anything last season anyway, did he? Did he even score?
No.
I think they went quite a few months without a striker scoring a goal or something. Most of last season without scoring a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really struggled for a goal scorer.
Yeah,
Raul Jimenez though he didn't look the same player after injury anyway, did he? So I don't really think that even having him really helped them that much, did it? Not sure if that's a decent signing for Fulham. I think that they're just trying to cover their bases in case Mitrovic goes, basically, aren't they? That's what they seem to be doing.
It seems so. I mean, he did come on yesterday, Mitrovic.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to stay put or not.
I'm very surprised with Wolves that they let Toure go on a free.
Where's he gone to? Fulham?
Traore. He's a free transfer at the moment.
So he's just on the... Oh, wow.
He's just released, yeah.
I remember everyone was saying, oh, yeah, he made such a great decision to go to Barcelona over Tottenham. That was, easy decision to make. And it's like, well, that hasn't really panned out, that, has it?
Yeah.
No,
I guess we'll talk about it in our... I guess we'll talk about it in our predictions a little bit more, but I don't really see where the goals are coming from Wolves at the moment. And it's going to be a hard season for them.
To be honest with you, I kind of even forgot they were still in the Premier League. And
we'll find out tomorrow when they play Man United at Old Trafford. If they've got any attacking threat at all. We'll see.
Anyway. I mean, have they still got Hwang?
Oh, they've still got Hwang. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, because he can get a few.
No, I don't think he's going to get 20.
He's not a 20th season goal scorer, is he? But I mean, he might be able to chip in with some. I don't know. But yeah, I think they really struggled most of last season anyway, didn't they? I mean, they just That's why I forgot that they were there, because they just seemed like they were an also-ran, basically, weren't they? So
they're about mid-table, really. Yeah. I mean, they've struggled really badly at the start of the season, didn't they? But once Postecoglou came in, not Postecoglou, what's his name? Lopetegui. Once Lopetegui came in, he did pretty well, to be honest, I think. Second half of the season. But they weren't really pulling up trees.
No, just kind of went about their business.
Yeah,
really,
they were fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're going to struggle this year. Lee, is there any areas that you think Brighton could improve on and haven't done yet in the transfer window?
Yeah, I still think we still need that sort of. Now we've lost McAllister and we're losing Caicedo. I still think we need that solid sort of a playmaker, attacking midfielder that can do what they used to do for us. Because I know there's rumours, it's sort of died down a little bit. We're sort of going for Mohamed Kudus from Ajax.
Okay.
But he's sort of
You're a big
all
fan.
agree.
Yeah, huge fan. Yeah, I know him well. Yeah.
He was all sort of agreed, and he's now come out and gone, I'm actually waiting for Dortmund to make an offer and see if they do anything.
Honest.
So it's sort of like, right, okay. But I've said last season, love Danny Welbeck, but he's not a goal scorer.
Not a consistent one, no.
You know, he's never looking at stats. He's never hit 10 goals in the Premier League. So
ever? Like even when he was younger?
No,
never hit 10 goals in the Premier League in a season. And I just think we need to bring someone that's got Premier League experience and can get you 10, 15, 20 goals a season.
Who is that player?
You don't think Ferguson's going to do that this season? You don't think he's got potential to do that?
He's got potential to do it, but what I think De Zerbi needs to do is he needs to start him a few more games.
Yeah.
It's good bringing him on in the last 20 minutes or so, but I don't feel it's enough game time for him.
Do you think that maybe the Europa, the Conference League might give him the chance to bleed himself in a little bit more this season?
I like to see him start the Europa games as his sort of, the 6 group games that we have, and see how he progresses through that, how he does against European opposition. But yeah, I mean, Ferguson's going to be a quality player for Brighton.
I mean, he looks like a pretty decent player already.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, putting it all on his shoulders might be a little bit too much. Potentially, or maybe he's the kind of guy that thrives under that. Maybe he'll love it. Maybe he'll be like, "No, make me the number one man, and you won't regret it." I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think once he's had a few more games and he's got to feel the ball a bit more and how the team work, then I think he's going to be a star for Brighton in the future.
So, who would you like to see coming in there? Do you think?
Well, it would have been if they were willing to spend it. It would have been Ivan Toney, but obviously he's now banned.
Yeah,
but he's the sort of player I'd love to have seen at Brighton. Ivan Toney, he scores goals, he makes stuff happen. When Brentford have needed it, he's been there, and you can't fault him for it.
The only problem with that is I don't see him swapping Brentford for Brighton.
I don't know. It's definitely an upgrade.
Yeah, the way Brighton have been now with also with De Zerbi in charge, you see a lot of players are coming to Brighton because they want to play under the manager and how he plays and the way he works the team.
I think there would have been a lot of competition for Ivan Toney.
I think had he not been banned, then a lot of sides probably would have been coming in for him.
Definitely. Spurs,
maybe Newcastle, maybe
teams like that.
Yeah.
Maybe United, maybe Chelsea,
possibly.
But I think the ban hasn't really helped him. Let's see how he does when he comes back from the ban, because that might determine whether anyone goes in for him next summer or not. I think if he comes back, hits the ground running, then but if he comes back and he struggles, or he comes back and doesn't get back into the team, that's a possibility.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things I was going to mention, is that Brentford haven't really replaced him.
No, but I think that they were saying today during the match is that Thomas Frank seems to be quite happy with the players that they have, and think that, we can replace him with the players that we have already. So
I imagine they're pretty happy with the squad from last season, right? So I don't know, put faith in them, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but again, Thomas Frank's another good manager as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. But is he going to be one of those managers that, if he does get a bigger job, can't make that step up? That's the only thing I worry about. Big fish, small pond syndrome.
Graham Potter syndrome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not the first one that did it. David Moyes was another one from recent memory that I can think of. Frank Lampard.
Nathan Jones.
Yeah. I mean,
Nathan,
would really call Southampton a big step up, but
bigger than Luton.
Yeah, but
they're the Luton above them.
Are they? Yeah, I was going to say that, not anymore.
I guess. What about the top six in particular? The top six. They're not the top six.
The big six.
Yeah, because two of them didn't finish in the top six last season. Richard.
Yeah. I think Chelsea need a striker.
Yeah, definitely.
They for the last 3 seasons they've needed a striker.
I think they need a goalkeeper as well, but striker. Yeah, I mean,
is the Silver that started the game today? Is that the ex-Brentford? Not Brentford, Bournemouth.
Who started for Chelsea?
Someone Silver started in goal for them today.
Oh, no, it was Sanchez, wasn't it?
Sanchez,
ex-Brighton goalkeeper.
Sanchez.
It's the Brighton.
Starting goal for him,
yeah.
So they have signed a keeper, but I don't think that's going to take Chelsea to another level.
He looked awful for the
first half.
For the Salah goal that was offside.
Oh, really? Okay.
He literally just flopped in front of him. Was like, I give up. Oh, don't hurt me. Like
that doesn't sound encouraging.
He looked really shaky in that first half, from what I saw.
He did that a lot last season at Brighton. You'd see him in moments be really good, but with those really good moments come several bad moments.
Who's the Brighton keeper now?
Jason Steele.
Oh wow, journeyman.
Yeah, and you couldn't ask for anyone better to replace Sanchez. He's just been absolutely phenomenal.
Solid, for sure. Without being spectacular, I would say. Which sometimes you kind of want in a goalkeeper, someone that's just going to be reliable, that not going to do anything out of this world, but safe pair of hands behind you, So yeah, but he looked awful in that first half for Chelsea. So I would say that a goalkeeper's probably. But then, who are they going to get? I mean, you would have thought they'd go after Raya, wouldn't you? But the word is he's going to Arsenal.
Yeah, supposedly. It's just a strange move.
Not sure what he's doing with that move. That seems odd.
That's a really strange move, yeah.
Yeah, you think you walk into a team and just be first choice, but Arsenal's not the one you go to. And Arteta wants him as first choice, and is done with Ramsdale. But I don't
harsh on Ramsdale if that's the case, wouldn't it? But
yeah, I'm not sure about
either
that.
way, it reeks of weirdness because if you're Arteta and you're signing him to be your new number one, that's really weird because Ramsdale was great last season. And if you're going in there as Raya to potentially go in there as number two, that's really weird as well because you could easily go to a team like Chelsea and be number one there. Quite happily, I would say.
Easy.
I mean, Spurs were after him as well before we signed Vicario.
They were too pricey for Spurs.
So we just got priced out of it, apparently.
Even though we're signing him for like less anyway.
That's really weird as well. That whole Tottenham offered 40 million.
Bournemouth see us as a direct rival, and Arsenal are just too far ahead. That's what
Brentford.
it is. Brentford. Brentford.
Too many teams beginning with B.
Too many Bs. Yeah, I can't keep up with it all. Yeah, they see us as a direct rival, don't they, for league positions? So
I think so. Yeah, I mean they're competing with them for Europe until the last day last season.
So that's probably why they're like, no, we'd rather him go there for less than to sell him to you at all. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What else you got, Tom?
Well, I said Chelsea did sign in Kunku in the summer, but he got injured immediately. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long he's out for.
All suggestions say until at least December.
Oh, really? That late?
Wow.
Okay, so, yeah, they do need another striker then, definitely. I don't know, they should have stuck with Havertz. No, definitely not.
But they started with Michael Jackson up front today, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah. I don't know, apparently he's scoring a few goals for Villarreal, so hopefully he can do the business. Well, hopefully, I don't mind Chelsea. Hopefully for Chelsea, he can do the business.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want them to do the business. I mean, I want Chelsea to get relegated, so,
that'd be
keep on dreaming.
Yeah, hopefully they implode and, just like... But, I mean, it's Pochettino as well, isn't it? He likes the young boys, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes hungry young players, as we know from his time at Spurs.
He likes the young players, doesn't he? So if you've got a young player who can do something, he's more than likely going to go with that player than go out into the transfer market and bring someone in, isn't he? So even though it's Chelsea, I mean, does he have much of a choice? I don't know. They seem to just throw cash at problems, don't they? So
yeah. So what other teams? Well, Man City don't need anything. So we're going to strike them from the record right now. Liverpool, well, I've heard people have been banging on about the midfield, but they need defence. Defence as well.
Still
a bit dodgy.
Defence they need to rebuild.
I mean, Trent obviously started for England in midfield during the summer, and he's still playing right back for Liverpool. And from what I've been reading today, Liverpool looked a bit shaky in that first half defensively.
Towards the end of the first half, yeah. I mean, at the beginning of the first half, they looked quite cultured, to be honest with you. Van Dijk and
Konate.
They both looked pretty cultured and stylish, to be honest with you. It looked like they had no threat or anything like that. But then, as soon as that first Chelsea goal went in, they just looked panicky and Spursy. I don't know.
I think maybe they need to freshen up the defence a little bit. I don't know. It's hard when you got players of the quality, I guess, of Trent and Robertson. I don't know if Van Dijk's been the same player since he came back from injury, really. I mean, I would turn around and say that Van Dijk's looking a bit like a one-season wonder at the moment. But, again, I don't want Liverpool to succeed, so I don't care. Yeah, okay, well, we'll move on to a team you do care about then. Tottenham Hotspur.
I thought you were going to say West Ham United.
you like West Ham too? Okay, we'll talk about Tottenham. Yeah? I've written down that you need... some better defenders.
Oh, yeah, but that's been the case for years
a long
now,
time, yeah.
Since 2020, probably, we've needed that.
I mean, I'm not Eric Dyer's biggest fan, but,
Well, he looks like he's gone now anyway.
Probably should stick around to get better defenders.
Van der Ven, Van of Men, scored an own goal today.
Oh, did he?
So, yeah.
Okay, good start.
Our new, is it Mickey Van der Ven? The new defender that we signed. He scored an own goal today.
Romero went off pretty early.
Romero went off with a supposed concussion, but we didn't use the concussion substitute because we didn't want to give Brentford an extra substitute.
Right.
So we actually took him off just after he scored, when 2 minutes afterwards he looked perfectly fine, and he probably could have come back on again, and he would have been better than Sanchez, because Sanchez is Sanchez.
Sanchez is still there. I thought he was going to get a move to...
He hasn't got a move yet, but he's still there
Russia.
At the moment.
Spartak Moscow after him?
I don't know.
But I think he came out and said he wasn't keen on the move.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't want to go to Russia now either.
No.
I mean, just for the political situation, and also the fact that you're not going to be playing European football anytime soon, are you? So what's the point?
I mean, Spurs, let's face it, the whole team needs rebuilding.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing at the moment, though, to be honest with you. It looks like we're overhauling the whole team. I mean, Dyer looks like he's going. Sanchez, they want to get rid of him. Højbjerg, we want shot of him. Lloris is going. Kane's gone. You know, it looks like we're basically overhauling the whole team, basically. So, and the team that played today, you would look at it and go, yeah, probably. Brand new goalkeeper. Romero and Van of Men in as the back two. I don't know what's happened to Pedro Porro. I thought he was quite a...
Is he not starting today? No.
Nope.
Emerson Royal.
Is he going to be a miss, though?
What? Pedro Porro?
Pedro Porro? I mean...
Towards the end of the season, he looked all right, but I mean, he wasn't even on the bench, so I don't think...
Was he not? Okay.
I don't think Ange fancies him very much. I think he's come in and looked over the whole team and thought, nah, a lot of these players I want shot.
Yeah, that's what you get with new managers, isn't it? You know?
Emerson played right back, but he didn't really play right back today. He played as a defensive midfielder. We played with three centre backs. Was it Adegi? Is that his name? Is that how you pronounce it?
If you want to pronounce it like that, I don't know.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So they played him as left back, but he didn't get as forward as a fullback usually would. Mm-hmm. So you had Emerson Royal kind of tucking more into defensive midfield, and then you had the left back kind of tucking in more as a third centre back. So, I mean, a lot of people were saying like inverted fullbacks, like that. Our Lord and Saviour Pep Guardiola, hallowed be thy name, did like a few seasons ago with Walker.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But yeah, so. I mean, I would say that we look like we're very much in a rebuilding phase right now. I mean, the whole team was overhauled. Not too hot on the goalkeeper, to be honest with you.
No, it didn't look convincing.
It looks like we've traded in someone from the insane asylum for his roommate, basically. he looked a little bit erratic, let's say. I'm hoping that it was nerves.
Yeah.
And he wanted to try and make a really good impression or something. I'm hoping that's what it is. But yeah, he looked a little bit all over the shop today. And I was sitting there thinking I would have started with Forster, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's only his first game, so we'll give him a chance.
That's what I'm hoping. It was like a David De Gea kind of thing where he looked insane for his first few games at United.
He did, First season,
First season, he looked a bit insane, didn't he? But then settled in.
Would that have been a goalkeeper to look at? He's on a freebie.
I would have been happy with that, to be honest with you. I think that I still think he's a good goalkeeper. I think that.
Why hasn't he got a move anywhere? I've heard nothing about him getting a move at all.
No, I think that's what I mean.
I think it was that situation where a while ago, he was the bee's knees, and like everyone was thinking he's going to go to Madrid, isn't he? That's where he wants to go. And then he had a few dodgy seasons, and then that kind of took it out of him a bit. And I think people look at him as the same way that people looked at Joe Hart.
I was just thinking that same comparison, but the playing with the feet.
Yeah. But I mean, if that's what you want your goalkeeper to do, then yeah, sure, don't go with a goalkeeper like him. But for me, a goalkeeper first and foremost needs to be able to just keep the ball out of the net. That's your first job, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, I know everyone's all about, like, oh, sweeper keeper, play with the feet, move the ball, tiki-taka, play from the back. But if he's crap and, like, you can't trust him to keep the ball out of the net, then what difference does it make?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been happy for De Gea to come to Tottenham, for sure. I thought that would have been a great move. To be honest with you, I would have been happy to have Forster being the number one this season. But Ange likes to play this sexy style of football, which basically does nothing.
Well, we'll see. It's been one game, Rich.
Yeah, well,
yeah. Do you see Ange as the manager that's gonna work wonders at Spurs?
So I said this on the last podcast. I don't see him as the person that takes us forward, but I also said that about Pochettino, and I was wrong there. So I could be wrong. I guess it all depends on how long he's given as well. You know, if we are in this whole rebuilding phase and he's trying to ship a lot of players out and bring in a lot of new players, then you obviously need to give him time to do that as well, don't you? But
yeah,
I don't see us being a threat to Europe this season, to be honest with you. I think maybe between 8th and 10th.
Okay.
I told you this before. I think that we're done now. We're out of our cycle and we're not going to be back for a while again now.
I mean, we'll see what happens to the next few games. Like, if Ange can, you know, take things off for Spurs.
Well, our next game is United, so...
Well, I mean, United are pretty... Well, yeah, they're not a massive force to be reckoned with, are they? I mean...
But we don't do well against top 6 teams, so...
No, true, yeah, well...
Apart from City.
But yeah, we always seem to beat Man City every season. I don't get that one. It's very weird.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
Guess they just step up to the occasion, I guess.
They just feel sorry for you. That's all it is.
Everyone should feel sorry for us.
You might win more then, yeah. Absolutely.
So, Tom, Arsenal, what do you think Arsenal need?
Oh, it's a great link. Yeah.
It's my job, see. That's why I get paid the big bucks.
Yeah, well, it was either them or Man United left in the Big Six. So what do Arsenal need? Well, first off, like a lot of teams, we need a striker.
You don't feel Jesus?
I mean, he's injured already. The season's just got started, and he's already injured. I mean, Kai
Havertz.
Nketiah got off to a good start yesterday. Got a goal, but he's a good striker, but you know, as yet unproven in Premier League level. Havertz, absolutely not. I don't want him playing up front for us again. It was terrible playing up front for Chelsea and terrible playing up front for Germany. So please do not think about doing this, Arteta.
But Arteta, not just Arteta. Actually, no. I apologise, Mikel. It's not just you. All managers these days wants to be the manager that gets the player going, don't they? And he very much strikes me as that kind of manager that's like, no one has been able to tame the wild horse that is him, but I will be able to get the best out of him.
I mean, totally.
I don't know why he is from Nigeria, but you know what I'm talking. I don't do a good Spanish accent.
I mean, you can see the potential of Havertz. It's just getting him in the right position.
I don't see him as
do you not?
Out and out forward.
No. I'm not talking about striker. No.
Oh no, as a player, I think he's a good player. Yeah. But he should be playing out wide.
Yeah.
Or like if you're going to play him in a front three, or if you want to drop him back into midfield, just give him a bit of a free roll.
I mean, he played in midfield yesterday, so that's a bit better. But I still think, you know, we need a striker. Obviously, we're not going to get anyone like Haaland who's going to score 36 goals in the season, but someone who can get 15 or 20, something like that, would be nice. Yeah. Obviously, the midfield chipped in a lot. We had 4 players, I think, who got 10 goals or over, which is pretty decent. But, you know, we didn't win the league. That's the bottom line. And if we're going to go that step further, we need a striker that's going to bang in goals. Defensively, I think, we need possibly another centre-back. I've never been that convinced by Gabriel, although people seem to think he's pretty decent. I don't know. Always thought he was a bit dodgy.
I like that one song from her.
Dreams, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes that song, don't they?
Cracking song.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about that, Gabriel, but okay. I still think defensively we're a little bit shaky, as we saw yesterday. We went 2 goals up. We had 84% possession at one point in the game, and then we let Forest back into it second half and looked very shaky in that second half. I mean, the Forest could have gone 1-0 up as well in the game. Brendan Johnson was clean through and skied it over the bar.
Put it over the bar, yeah.
Yeah, so I still think we're a bit shaky defensively. Definitely, yeah.
I think just for to prevent what happened last season as well. If someone goes down, you want to make sure that you got someone that can step in and do a decent enough job as well, don't you? That's the other thing. So when Saliba went down last season, that's when the defensive frailty snuck in a little bit, didn't it?
Timber got injured yesterday. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. Key War's come in. He does look all right. I don't think he's the answer either. So centre back wise, I'm still a little bit apprehensive.
Who would you like to see there?
Hala Maldini in his prime would be nice.
Yeah, I'd like that. Yeah, time machine.
I don't know. Right there. Off the top of my head, I mean, oh goodness, who's available really? Defensively, you
got. There's no. I look at players now, and you just don't see players that stand out anymore.
Defensively, I'd agree with that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say, "Oh, that player's good" or "that player's good," because they all do different roles in defence now.
Who's the City centre back that they're trying to get rid of?
Laporte.
Laporte, that's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. To be honest, that'd be decent.
Are they trying to get rid of him?
Yeah. I mean, he's available for the right price.
They're trying to get rid of him, or he wants to go?
I think that they're happy to let him go, but I think he's also happy to move on as well, kind of thing, So
he wasn't playing much last season.
So he wants to get back into the national run as well. Doesn't
take that. I'll be happy with that. Really, I mean, I'm really struggling to think of other defenders that would be available at the moment.
What about John Stones if he was available?
If he was available, absolutely, mate. But
I mean,
we're never going to get him.
No.
Nah, never going to get him.
No, he's not going to be available for a while yet, I'd say. Maybe Tamori?
That's a decent shout. He's a good defender, isn't he?
Not a bad shout, yeah. Tamori.
I mean, no way Newcastle are going to sell anyone to us, but Sven Botman I'd take if he was available.
Botman.
How about Lewis Dunk? He's available?
No, sorry. He's
you're speaking on behalf of him, are you?
Yeah, I'm one of his representatives.
Okay, right. Thanks for letting me know, yeah.
He's happy where he is down south.
Yeah, I get it, nice seaside air and everything. You don't really want to move to London,
I don't see him wanting to leave Brighton anyway. I don't see him.
I think
he won't.
I don't know. I think if a massive team came in for him with a title challenge, I think he probably would. But
I think the only club really that could maybe persuade him is City, really, for winning trophies and just the way City play and they're such a scary team.
I mean, we say this, but we all know it's crap because they're all driven by money, aren't they? So,
exactly.
So if anyone came in and said, "Oh, yeah, well, we're Brentford, but we're going to pay you £400,000 a week," he'd probably go.
Yeah,
I don't know how they'd afford it, but
Yeah, I mean the highest paid player at Brighton is Lallana, who's on 90 grand a week.
Yeah, see.
Okay. So yeah.
We might go to Saudi. You never know.
Oh, yeah, it's always that option, isn't there? Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyone else that you'd like to see? Just like not necessarily a dream signing, but someone that you could see fitting in quite well to your team, or someone that you'd like to see there.
I mean, Mbappe, if we could sign him.
That's a dream signing.
You said dream signing.
No, I said not necessarily a dream signing. I said someone that you would like to see at the club.
Mbappe, absolutely. If he was available. Okay. And, great. What are you thinking? What do you think outside the box here?
No, I want you to be realistic.
A realistic dream signing.
A realistic dream signing. Okay.
I mean, for instance, you ask me,
Harry Kane.
I would really like. It's just left. or maybe this was all a backwards roundabout way of Arsenal signing him. Like, go sign for Bayern Munich, and then we'll sign you straight back. And in that way, you don't get the Tottenham.
You're very good.
They're not going to stop.
Good, yeah. That's it.
So, for instance, I would really like to see James Ward-Prowse at Spurs. I would really like to see that signing. I think that would be a good signing. And I would have liked to have seen that. Jared Bowen would be another one that I would like to see.
Yeah, good player.
So that's what I'm talking about. Of course, you're gonna, Kylian Mbappe and like
realistic signings.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Edit all this out. It's dead air.
No, we'll make it awkward for you.
Thanks, man.
How dare you not have an answer to a question I just dumped upon you?
Who realistically be available?
Lee, have you got anyone in mind? Maybe we can come back to him.
I mean, sort of.
Don't say Mbappe.
No. I mean, a realistic signing. I mean, for Brighton, I would have said James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Again, yeah.
For to replace that McAllister sort of player. Would have been ideal. So that would be my dream signing for Brighton.
I think regular listeners to this show know that I'm a big fan of his. So I think he should have gone with the England squad.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of his. So yeah. I think I'm happy that you agree with me. Got anyone yet?
No, mate.
No. Okay. You got anyone else that you want to talk about at least?
We'll talk about Man United, shall we, quickly?
Okay.
Because they're the only Big Six team I haven't mentioned. Defensively, I still think they're a bit shocking.
Yeah.
I know Maguire's going.
You say that about most teams, it seems, right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Really weak defensively.
I think they're definitely going to need a stronger defensive. They're going to challenge for a league title.
They're going to need a stronger defensive line to defend that goalkeeper. Because I think they replaced
erratic as well.
Yeah, they replaced a good goalkeeper with a worse goalkeeper.
But he can play with his feet.
Yeah, that's what Ten Hag wants.
So I mean, get up with the times, man. Come on, Jesus. Goalkeeper's not about goalkeeping anymore.
Well, I mean, he played for Ten Hag, didn't he, at Ajax? So he knows him. He wants him to play goalkeeper. I think maybe they need another striker as well, possibly Man United. I mean, Rashford scored a decent amount of goals last season, but I think, again, like Arsenal, they kind of need a 20-goal season man to take them to that next level.
I think Rashford could be that this season.
He could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's been through his trouble a little bit. He's come out the other end. He looked good at the end of last season. He kind of kept his head down, shut up, went about his business. I think he could do really well this season. He's actually probably going to be one of my picks for top goal scorer this season.
Okay.
But I would agree that if he goes down, where do the goals come from after that?
Anthony.
Yeah.
I don't see him as a goal scorer.
No,
he's
not
creative, but he doesn't. He's not going to get the goals.
They signed Højlund, didn't they?
Højlund's a bit of a weird one because they've spent 72 million on him for a striker that scored 9 goals last season.
Really unproven.
It's a risk, isn't it? I think it's just the potential of the player, isn't it? That's why they've signed him for that.
But isn't that what Chelsea did with like Vushnichkovic, whoever they signed last season? The Ukrainian player they signed last season.
Mudryk.
Mudryk, yeah.
Oh my goodness! I'm glad we didn't sign him.
Yeah, I mean he didn't really do a lot, and they just splashed out massive amounts of cash on him as well, didn't
80
they?
million.
I think with clubs now, when Chelsea want a player, they see him coming and they know Chelsea will pay whatever they say.
Yeah, so prices are crazily inflated. I think Liverpool are going to have the same problem with that now as well, I think. They've come out and they're splashing the cash around as well. And
yeah, Liverpool's a weird one. But they're going to spend 115 on Caicedo.
Yeah.
When they said they didn't have the money to buy Bellingham.
Yeah.
But I personally think Bellingham didn't want to go there anyway.
I think if Real Madrid is an option over Liverpool, you're going to go to Madrid first, aren't
Plus
you?
Liverpool on the Champions League, aren't they?
So I think that's more of a player's decision necessarily and Liverpool probably came out to save face. Oh yeah, no, we didn't want him anyway.
Pretty much. Yeah, we didn't want him. Yeah, we don't have the money. Whatever. Yeah,
okay, we don't rate him that highly. No, he's not worth that amount of money. Yeah. So, but no, I totally agree with you. I think that Højlund's a bit of a questionable signing, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, you think maybe Sancho might step up a little bit this season, perhaps, but
I
would say for England's sake, I hope he does step up a little bit. He's a good player. It just hasn't really worked out at Man United at all. I don't know what's going on.
No, he wanted this big move to Man United, and for the first, I think when he signed, Solskjaer, when he was in charge, he didn't even play him for the first 5-10 games.
Yeah.
Sat him on the bench.
Well, I thought it was really funny. They were banging on about how great a player that he was, and they really couldn't wait to get him, and they really wanted to land him. And he didn't play for 8 games. It was like, what?
Yeah.
I found that weird as well. But, I mean, you look at the team it seems like, it was like 6 years ago now, but you think of the team that started last season, and you think about the players that were in that team, and you think...
Ronaldo.
Yeah, they had Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And you think, goals aren't going to be a problem for United, and then...
Fakehorst.
Oh.
I did not understand that coming in as a loan signing. It's like...
It's just because he scored a couple of goals in the World Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was it. That was it.
I think that was a move of convenience as well, wasn't it? It was like, crap, we need someone.
He's
we
Dutch.
need a body.
I'm Dutch. Let's get him in.
Yeah.
We speak the same language. He knows what I want.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Or is he...
He's gone to Germany now.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's gone on loan though, hasn't he? He still hasn't been sold.
From Burnley.
Yeah, Burnley still own him.
Yeah, he Hoffenheim, I think it was, he went to.
Maybe, but I know it was a loan signing. I know that for a fact. So, but I don't know. I think Rashford could be that player, but I agree. If they go down, then for once though, for the first time in a long time, I'm going to turn around and say I don't think they need to change midfield that much. I think their midfield looks all right.
Man United. I think that they've got a lot of good players in midfield, haven't they? Mounts, obviously, I think it's a good signing. I think
that fits quite well. Casemiro, Fernandes is good.
Casemiro, when he doesn't get sent off.
Yeah,
I think he's one of those players that you need to kind of accept that with, though, a little bit. He's one of those players that it's like Roy Keane or Paul Scholes that sometimes they're gonna get red cards. That's just the way they play. Patrick Vieira is another one, it's like he's going to pick up reds sometimes, but he's good enough that you just play them as soon as they're back.
Go with it.
You just accept that. It's not stupid red cards that they're getting. It's part of their game red cards, It's like you just kind of have to accept that sometimes, And I'm all right with that. I don't mind players like that. It's players that get stupid red cards that you're like, what are you doing, you fucking idiot? But if a player's just like, well, he's so good and that's just the way he plays.
He's a winner, isn't he? So
I don't think anyone would turn around and say Patrick Vieira, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane are bad players because they got so many red cards, But
absolutely.
No, absolutely.
So, but that's the first time I've said that about a United team for a while. I mean, Fred McTominay, when they were your two best... when they were your two best midfielders, it's like...
Fred's gone now.
Yeah, McTominay looks like he's going as well.
McTominay's probably going as well, yeah.
So...
Yeah, McTominay, West Ham or something.
Yeah, I heard West Ham, yeah.
I think they're trying to replace Rice, aren't they? But don't really know how.
Ward-Prowse.
No.
Is he actually going there, though?
Ward-Prowse and Maguire both going to West Ham. They've basically almost
30 million or something?
30 million each.
Because last time I heard is that they were interested, but I didn't know the deal was done. So
it's like 99% done, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That sounds of it. Need the picture, though. Need the official picture.
Oh, yeah. Apparently it doesn't count if you don't.
It's done.
Whatever. Even though there's not a picture available at the time. But whatever.
Nice. So, Lee, as a Brighton fan, what did you think about Crystal Palace losing Wolf Zaha?
I think it's I've never rated Zaha.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I say why I didn't rate because when he got that move to Man United, it didn't work in a big team.
Yeah, true.
So they then loaned him out and he went back to Palace. But I think Palace are going to be a strong. I hate to say it, but I think they're going to be a better team without him.
Oh, really?
I kind of agree with that.
Okay.
Because it's not all focused on him.
I mean, I kind of agree with what you're saying as well. Not necessarily the United thing, because I think that it's a lot of pressure. He was young. Sometimes it doesn't work at big teams. I get that. Yeah. But then when he went back to Palace and then no one ever came back in for him again, I think kind of speaks volumes.
Says a lot, yeah.
About how everyone else perceived it. And I do agree that I think that sometimes his hype was bigger than his quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I agree. I think they'll do better without him.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think Palace will do well without him this season.
I mean, he scored a decent amount of goals last season, so they might miss that. Eze's a pretty decent
that's the one
player.
I think that they need to keep hold of. They really need to keep hold of
Eze. Yeah, Eze is quality.
Yeah, I mean, I had that almost a season out of an injury, didn't he, or something?
Yeah.
So as long as he's recovered from that, he should be good for them this season. He's going to be their star man. I've been saying for years, for Palace that they need a striker, but do they? I mean, they just seem to keep staying up every season.
I mean, again, it's what do you want? Do you want to stay up or do you want to start progressing?
Yeah.
Because I'd agree that I think that they need someone that can put the ball in the net, a focal point. I mean, they've got Edouard, haven't they? But
he scored yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, but he scored last season as well. But then he'd go like 4 games without a goal, and you'd be like, he's a bit hit and miss, isn't he? Jordan Ayew's not going to be the guy that gets all the goals either.
No, definitely not.
Eze's good, but he's not going to be able to score that much. Who's the other player that they have as well?
Teta?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, they've got goals spread out, but they don't have a focal point, I think, and that's what their problem's going to be.
I think as well, the players that come in, like Edouard, he came from Celtic to the Premier League. It's a completely different league.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in Scotland, there's, you could say 2 teams.
If you're being generous,
If you're being generous, then if you come into the Premier League, you could say that there's a good, 6-7 teams that are improving each season, and it's just the quality's just getting better. So you can't expect him to go and bang in 15 goals that he was doing at Celtic because you don't get that time on the ball.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
To what you do in most leagues.
I just think that all you need to do is look at the level he's come from as well. He's come from the Scottish champions to a team that basically just about stays in the league year in, and he can't even hit the ground running there.
Yeah, that's just a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he'll get some goals. He'll pick some up, but he's not going to be that player that gets you 15, 20 goals a season, I don't think. And I think that that's what Palace is missing. It's the same thing that I said that I think Brighton were missing for all that. And to a certain extent, probably still are as well. It's all well and good being a very good creative team, but if you haven't got that player that can put the ball in the net when you're not playing well, that's the problem. And I think that's what Palace suffer from. And I think that's probably, to a certain extent, what Brighton still suffer from as well. It's what Wolves are going to suffer from this season.
Yep.
There's lots of teams that are going to struggle to do it. I think having Roy Hodgson in charge might help, though. Because he's...
I mean, he seemed to get a lot out of them last season.
Yeah, I think he can get a lot out of the players that he has there, and I think he'll make them difficult enough to beat that they can nick games here and there, so I think that they'll probably be all right. But again, it's the same thing that we were talking about on the last show. It's like how long is it until Palace turn around and go, right, okay, enough's enough now. We really do need to try and progress to that next level, and we need to push on. Because you look at the past few, 4 seasons or something, they keep going, oh, we're going to bring in this brand new flashy manager. Check him out, how shiny he is and everything. And he's going to make us play a new sexy way of football. And then it starts going wrong and they go, Roy, can you come back?
Can you come back, Roy?
Sam, can you come and save us from relegation, please? You know, it's I
thought Vieira was going to be that guy.
I really thought it was, but then they gave up on him really quickly as well, didn't they? Because they get scared.
Gave up on him. Yeah.
So how long is it until A, the fans start demanding a little bit more, or B, the club actually thinks, no, we really need to make this happen now? Well, because Roy's going to die eventually, and we can't keep bringing him back when he's dead.
You can't. Yeah. I'm surprised the fans haven't started asking for more already.
Yeah, I am as well, to be honest with you.
It's a tough one. I mean, as a fan, you always want your team to progress and be more than just a team that finished 17th or 16th.
Yeah.
Just to say, oh look, we stayed in the Premier League for another season.
Yeah.
You know, Everton had that for a while. Then they got good, and now they're going backwards again.
Mm. Poor recruitment for Everton, though, isn't it? That's their problem. They've just had really bad recruitment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, Everton need improvement in every position possible. Apart from goalkeeper, maybe. I think Pickford's pretty decent. Has been decent for the last couple of seasons. But everywhere else, they need everything, really.
Yeah.
So striker position, absolutely they need. Calvert-Lewin can't stay fit.
Do you not think that this is going to be the year of Mopé?
Well, not after yesterday's display.
You know, he's been in the Premier League long enough now. It's about time that he started showing what he can do, right?
I don't think so.
I was so glad when Brighton sold him.
Really?
It looks like a good piece of business, though, doesn't it? Yeah.
It was for what Brighton got for him. It is just he had those glimmers of goodness in games, but then he had a really poor attitude as well. And I think they made the right move in getting rid of him.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that was a great piece of business for.
I mean, they haven't missed him, so
no. I mean, they've scored more since he's gone, right? I
think so. Yeah.
Solly March has come into his own a little bit now that he's not there as well. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was a great piece of business, and Everton were just. I don't know why they wanted to sign him, but yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't got him, haven't got Calvert-Lewin, haven't got anyone really, have they? Have they still got Cenk Tosin? Is he still there? Still got him?
I don't know. No, he's gone. I'm pretty sure he went.
Well, I mean, it shows how much faith Everton have in Maupay, where they'd rather play a 19-year-old over him.
Although he did start yesterday, though, didn't he? So
yesterday.
But yeah, how long he stays in that position for, I don't know. Again, Everton, I see them struggling to score.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about it in our predictions show.
Yeah,
for Everton.
Yeah.
I'm just going to touch on one more team in Europe quickly. Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm. They
obviously didn't sign a striker after Benzema left. They signed Hosler, didn't they, from Celta Vigo? But it's not really the world-class name that you're expecting. I'm assuming they're holding out for Harry Kane. Not Harry Kane.
Not now. They were. They were waiting for him for free, weren't they? That's what they were trying.
Yeah.
They're holding out for Mbappe, aren't they? Yeah, now, basically.
But I've read today that Mbappe's going to be signing a new contract till 2027.
No.
Yeah. He's going to stay and he's going to sign a new contract another 5 years.
Just to get more money out of Real Madrid, yeah.
You think that that's what it's going to be, but then eventually that's going to drive Real Madrid away.
They're just going to turn around next summer. They're going to turn around next summer and not bother.
Yeah.
They want him next summer because they have to pay for him.
Yeah.
That seems to be they have him this summer to get, on a plate, and they didn't go for it because they won't pay the money.
I think that they're probably worried about FFP, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
That's probably what's forefront in their mind because, I mean, they haven't really made any money from selling players over the past few years, have they? I mean, they still spent
nearly 100 million on Bellingham,
which is what they're worried about with the FFP, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can't sign two players for like nearly 300-400 million and then be like, we haven't sold anyone either. So,
I mean, I'm kind of surprised they didn't try and push for Kane a bit more, but
I think that they were thinking it's going to get to the new year, January, and then we can sign a pre-contract with him, and he'll come for free in the summer.
Yeah,
but then that's backfired because I don't think a lot of teams thought he was going to go to Bayern Munich or that Bayern Munich were going to be able to afford to stump the money up for him.
Yeah.
And they thought, well, we'll just wait and we'll get him for free next year. We can survive 1 year. This
is Bayern's record transfer, isn't it? The most they've ever spent.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But do you think Real Madrid are going to suffer this season because they haven't got anyone that's going to put the ball
No, I think they've got goals elsewhere in the team.
And Rodrigo, I guess.
I mean, first and foremost, you're not really worried about them that much in Spain, are you? I mean, it's only Barcelona really that are going to challenge them, isn't it? Champions League is obviously where the problem's going to lie, but I still think that there's enough quality in the team that they'll get goals from other places. But again, they won't have that focal point. But it's not the same situation as Crystal Palace, Everton, and Brighton. You know, it's like, well, they're
obviously not. No.
They're players. You'd think that they'd be able to score a lot more goals from a lot more positions. My concern is that their team in midfield is starting to get old, which is obviously what they've brought Bellingham in for. But you look at Kroos, Modric, they're getting old now, man. Those are not... They can't...
Yeah.
I mean, Modric is what, 38, 39 now?
I'm not sure he's that old. I don't know.
No, I think he's 30... He's 36, I thought. 36, 37.
I thought he was over 37. I thought he was 37 last year.
I mean, they have bought a few young midfielders, like Camavinga, Tchouameni, Valverde.
And they've got Endrick coming in as well. The young Brazilian, Brazilian Ronaldo.
Oh, they're all the next Ronaldo, aren't they? Next Ronaldo, yeah. But yeah, they still have a reliance on Kroos and Modric. Yeah, definitely.
I think that's their possibly biggest downfall. Is that area. They're trying to refresh it, obviously, but it's going to take time. And can you replace players like that, you know?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think Madrid are going to be a massive threat this season. I could be wrong. Could be proved wrong, and everyone's going to laugh at me in 9 months' time or whatever. But, I don't think they're going to be a threat to the Champions League or maybe even La Liga this season.
I mean, they'll be there or thereabouts in the Liga, obviously, won't they? Because who else is going to get a Malaga? You know, like
Madrid are probably the only other team.
One of three teams.
Yeah.
So the lowest they're going to finish is third.
Yeah.
But I still think that they're probably better than Atletico Madrid as well. Because
absolutely.
Who have Atletico got?
Well, up front.
I mean, you've got Griezmann still, right? Yeah. But how old is he now? He's not the same Griezmann that he was years ago, is he? So.
No, nowhere near.
I mean, you say their biggest threat's going to come from Barcelona, but...
Yeah. Barcelona got a guy who can score 20, 30 goals up front.
That's the difference.
And that's going to be a difference maker, I think, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, I think that, they didn't want to really spend the money on Mbappe because of FFP. I think that's what they were probably worried about. And I think that they were probably looking to get Kane on a free, and if they could get Mbappe for cheaper as well, then they might have gone for that instead. But because was his contract run out next year or the year after?
Who?
Mbappe
next summer.
Next summer.
could be waiting to get him for a free as well. But from what I've read, it looks like he's going to be signing a new contract. And it's the same thing that I said about Harry Kane. It's like, well, if you really want to leave,
so go round in circles.
Why are you signing new contracts?
Yeah. I think
will they won't they? Real Madrid and
it's the Mbappe.
I think PSG need to sign into a contract, because if they let him go on a free, that's a terrible piece of business for what they signed him for.
Yeah.
To not get anything out of it.
But then, do they care? I mean, does it get to a point where you have so much money that you don't really care if people leave for nothing and you do really bad business anymore? Because it's like, I mean, all I've read today is that Neymar is going to be going to Al Hilal as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
So they're going to lose him. So they're going to get him off their wage bill as well. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're just like, well, we've got enough money that it makes no difference to us whatsoever. But you would have thought they would want to get rid of him this year if he wants to go, because that's the thing. Maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he really wants to. I mean, he was born in Paris, wasn't he? Maybe he really wants to stay in Paris.
Is it him talking, or is it his agent talking?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing you need to ask sometimes as well. Maybe it's all a bit of a bargaining chip as well to get a better contract at PSG. You know, it's only a matter of time before he goes to Madrid. Maybe if you pay us another 200,000 euros a month, we might be in business. You know, but what's that? So, you're really interested in? Saudi have just come in with a bid for him as well, by the way. So, and you know how much money they've got. I mean, you're Qatari, right? You don't want to lose him to Saudi, do you? No, put another 0 on that contract for us.
Yeah, I mean, it could be all just that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know.
Because, I mean, he hasn't actually come out and said, I want to go. He's just said Real Madrid are a great team, and if I were to ever play for him, of course, it'll be a huge honour. But I think most players would say that anyway, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, any player would, with Real Madrid coming for you.
Yeah, so
I think PSG are going to be losing a lot of money on names on shirts, aren't they? With Messi gone.
Neymar
goes. They'll be making money from that.
But then I think that this might be just what PSG needs as well, you know? Is stop trying to sign the biggest names and try and sign the best team, you know?
Yeah.
A decent side.
They've signed Dembele, haven't they, for Barcelona?
But, I mean, that turned out to be a flop for Barcelona as well, didn't it? So,
most of his time,
Dembele, massive flop for Barcelona. Yeah, I think he was injured most of the time, wasn't he? His whole career there?
Yeah, for the majority of his time there, yeah.
I mean, and that was another player that is like, he'd only been around a year or two, and then they spent over
one season at Dortmund.
Yeah, 100 million on him. So you say about Højlund, and then you say, well, there you go. That's what happens when it can go wrong, you know? So,
yeah.
But yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Nope. I think I've exhausted all my options. Unless there's any other teams that you feel need strengthening.
I think everyone needs strengthening.
Obviously,
that's the thing. Every team needs strengthening.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move us on to the Sacked in the Morning Hall of Fame then.
Oh,
if that is okay with you. And speaking about hometown boys and hometown heroes and world record transfer bids, it's all going to come a little bit full circle. But obviously, Harry Kane left the Premier League this week, and there's been a lot of talk this week about the Premier League goal scoring record. And from stuff I've seen online as well, a lot of disrespect towards Alan Shearer as well, from what I've seen. So, mainly from the youth.
Yeah, from the youth who didn't see him play.
Who never saw him play and have no idea.
Yeah.
So you saw that post that said, "How did Alan Shearer
become the?"
Yeah, you saw that. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was, oh my god, are you freaking serious? But anyway, so the topic is going to be the Premier League goal scoring record, or top scorers in general. So, your first choice today, gentlemen, is Alan Shearer, CBEDL. That's District Lieutenant, I think that stood for. But apparently it's a royal title. So
is it? It sounds more like a policeman or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's an honorary position that dates back quite a while. But
okay.
God put some respect on it. It's a royal title. So
yeah.
Take your word for it.
He was born in Newcastle upon Tyne on the 13th of August 1970. Happy birthday, Alan.
Wow. Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
He began his youth career in 1986, signing with Southampton and making his full debut as a 17-year-old in 1988, coming on as a substitute. He would make his full debut 2 weeks later, becoming the youngest scorer of a top-flight hat-trick in the game, breaking a 30-year record held by Jimmy Greaves. In 1992, after being linked with moves away to Man United and Liverpool, Shearer would join Blackburn Rovers for a British transfer record of £3.6 million.
Crazy money.
Plus David Speedy in a player exchange.
Throwing in David Speedy as well, yeah.
He would score twice on his competitive debut for the club before the first of his 3 potentially career-ending injuries would see him miss over half of the season, still managing to score 16 goals in 21 games in his first season.
Mm.
The following season, he would score 31 goals in 40 games as Blackburn would finish as runners-up in the league. But it would be the following season, as Shearer scored 34 goals, that the club and player would go on to lift their first, and unfortunately only, Premier League trophy. On the 30th of July 1996, Alan Shearer would become the world's most expensive player when, after interest from both Manchester United and Real Madrid, he signed for the team that he grew up supporting, Newcastle United, for £15 million. And in 2019, when adjusted for inflation, came to a total of £222 million.
Wow.
Making him, to this day, still the most expensive signing in history when adjusted for inflation.
Wow, okay.
Wow.
He would finish his first season at the club as the league's top scorer for the 3rd season in a row and finishing as runners-up in the league. He would remain at Newcastle for the remainder of his career, playing his last game on the 17th of April 2006 after an injury in a 4-1 win over Sunderland forced him off the pitch with 3 games remaining in the season. A sad end for a fantastic career, I think you would agree. At international level, Shearer made his debut in a 2-0 win against France in 1992, scoring in the game. Despite being named England captain, he would not achieve much at international level, unless you count Le Tournoi, with his best displays coming in the Euro 96 tournament where England reached the semi-finals and Shearer ended the tournament as top goal scorer. He played 63 times for his country and scored 30 goals. But at club level is where he achieves potential legendary status, with 379 goals in 734 appearances, all of which at the top level of English football. He won 1 league title. Individually, he has achieved 1 Euro Golden Boot, 3 Premier League Golden Boots, 12 separate Team of the Year awards, 3 Player of the Year awards, named Best Player of the Decade, named in FIFA's 100 Greatest of All Time, and in 2 separate Hall of Fames.
But he did win Le Tournoi.
He won Le Tournoi.
Yeah, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. First player to reach 100 Premier League goals, as well as still being the fastest one in which to do so. One of 5 players to score 5 goals in a Premier League match, Newcastle's top ever goal scorer, 5th in top flight scorers of all time with 283 goals, and of course the Premier League's top ever goal scorer with 260.
But he never won the FA Cup, as Gary Lineker likes to point out.
Yeah.
Every single time they're on air.
Runner-up twice.
Reminds him.
Or will it be Harry... No, I'm joking. James Jimmy Peter Greaves was born in Manor Park, Essex on the 20th of February 1940. At the age of 15, Greaves began his apprenticeship at Chelsea, and in 2 seasons at youth level would score 173 goals.
In 2 seasons?
In 2 seasons.
Wow.
Some
bad defences in that league.
Yeah.
Upon this, he was obviously promoted to the senior side in 1957, aged 17, scoring on his debut and finishing that season as the club's top goal scorer with 22 goals in 37 games, including 6 weeks out because then Chelsea manager Ted Drake did not want all the attention to go to his head.
Okay.
Do you imagine that happening these days? A manager leaving like your top goal scorer out. Oh no, he's getting too much praise. I don't want to go into the lad's head, do I? Now, imagine that. Crazy. Wow. That manager would be fired so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next day.
Yeah. I mean, technically, that happened with Newcastle. Ruud Gullit put Alan Shearer on the bench. Next day, he was gone.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
In 1961, Greaves would sign for £80,000 by AC Milan, despite Jimmy trying to annul the deal as he did not want to leave London. He would, however, score on his debut, scoring 9 goals in 14 appearances, but due to his low morale and poor relationship with the club, he was transfer listed and would join Tottenham Hotspur for a fee of £99,999, a fee which was agreed to avoid the player having the pressure of being the first £100,000 player.
Wow.
On his debut, he would go on to score a hat-trick and would win the FA Cup in his first season, scoring in the final. And in his following season, despite being sent off in the semi-final, he would score in the final of the Cup Winners' Cup, becoming the first British team to find success in Europe. He would remain at Spurs for a further 9 years, becoming the club's all-time top goal scorer with 268 goals before moving to West Ham in 1970. Greaves would continue to play until 1980, but battling his own demons would never achieve his previous heights and would retire at Woodford Town. Internationally, he would make his debut as a 19-year-old in a defeat to Peru, scoring England's only goal in a 4-1 defeat. Over the next 7 years, he would trade the top scorer mantle with Bobby Charlton and would be on 43 goals going into the 1966 World Cup as England's #1 centre-forward. After failing to score in any of the group games, an injury in the final game would see him replaced by Jeff Hurst, and despite being fit for the final, he would not regain his place. And due to FIFA's rules at the time, he would not receive a winner's medal until 2009. Greaves would only play 3 more times for England, scoring 1 more goal, and is 5th overall as England's top ever goal scorer, with 44 goals in 57 appearances. Once again, it's at club level where he shines, having scored 469 goals in 707 appearances. He won 1 league title, 2 FA Cups, 1 Continental Cup, 2 Charity Shields, 5 home championships, 1 World Cup, 6 top-flight golden boots, more than any other player in history, youngest player to score 100 league goals, until the aforementioned Shearer, the most league goals in all of Europe's top 5 leagues, a record that lasted with 366 goals until 2017 when it was surpassed by Cristiano Ronaldo, and is still the all-time top scorer in English top-flight history with 357 goals in 516 appearances. So,
wow.
there you go. Discuss, debate, argue, ask questions. Who's going in, gentlemen?
I'll let Lee go first. It's his first show.
Oh, let me go first.
If you want.
Listening to all that, I've got to say, looking at you go with Shearer.
Oh, okay.
Only reason I say that is because Shearer's, like I say, Shearer's done it to a level, but he's also done it where defenses were a lot more improved. It was done. It was done in a harder league, the Premier League itself, and for Shearer to do what he's done, overcoming the injuries, for me, always has, always will be Alan Shearer.
Okay. I think that. I mean, I disagree with the better league moniker. I think maybe you could have said that. I mean, even then, you say you could have said that in the 80s, but then even in the 80s, like, if English teams were allowed to play in Europe, they probably would have won more European Cups, Liverpool, Everton.
Yep.
You know, so I debate the better league moniker because I think that even the old Division 1 was still a very high quality league. But I mean, that's opinions. It's not me. I mean, it is me saying you're wrong, but it's not me saying you're wrong, if you know what I mean, you know.
Don't agree with his opinion.
It's not a quantifiable thing, I don't think. I mean, you could probably bring out loads and loads of stats and stuff like that, but
it's very, very hard to tell, isn't it?
I'd also say you said that defences are better. Maybe that's true, but Bobby Moore? Saying he wasn't a good defender?
Never said he wasn't a good defender. Bobby Moore was an exceptional defender.
Just not as good as, like, Henning Berg, no?
No, David May.
True.
No, but I mean, you look at defences now to Bobby Moore. Yeah, I think Bobby Moore, if you know, there's a Bobby Moore type of player playing now, he would get into majority teams.
Yeah, I think the last player you could probably give that kind of mantle to, that played in the Premier League at least, is probably Rio Ferdinand. But even then, I wouldn't say he was as good as Bobby Moore, probably. But he's the last defender that you would say solid defender, but also a good ball player as well. So
John Stones.
Not a good defender.
No.
Fair
good ball player. He can play football, no doubt about that. But is he a good defender? No. I've always said this. I do not think City have a good defence. I've said that the whole time. But I think that, just before we get into Tom, actually, no, let's go Tom first because it might come down to me as a tiebreaker. So,
okay, all right. It's a very difficult choice. With my nostalgia goggles on, it's very hard to go against Shearer just because when I was getting into football, I got into football in '96 when Shearer was the top goal scorer in that tournament, and he scored against Scotland in that first game, didn't he? He scored a couple of goals against Netherlands and one against Germany as well. That was when I was really getting into football. So Shearer was the top striker around at that time. So it's very hard to go against Shearer. It's very hard to compare him to Greaves when obviously I haven't seen Greaves play week in, week out. It's very difficult, isn't it, to go against that. But I don't think the statistics lie here. And I think it's very hard to go against Jimmy Greaves here. I'm going to go for Jimmy Greaves. and then put all the pressure on you for the tiebreaker.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It keeps coming down to me. There should always be a third person here. I come up with them. You guys decide, because then I can have justifiable deniability and just go, "Hey, man, it's not my fault that Maradona didn't get in. It's you guys' fault. But now it is my fault." And people are always going to. Right. So what I was going to say is that both players have tremendous accolades to their names. I mean, you'd say that Jimmy Greaves was probably more successful than Alan Shearer. I mean, he won a World Cup. He won a European trophy. He won more accolades than Shearer. So you'd say that potentially he was probably more successful. And as Tom said, the stats do back up that as well. But then you come to Alan Shearer, and he was the most expensive player in the world at one point.
Yeah. Wasn't Greaves the most expensive player in the world?
No.
Or with that statement you made?
No. So
you said they've
actually, yeah, it would have been, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
because he would have been the first one, unless someone else went for £999,999. Then they'd be joint most expensive players,
maybe,
or maybe with exchange rates, maybe someone else spent more money, like an Italian team had spent more. Would it have been lira at that point?
Yeah.
Maybe they spent more on a player, and it was the first £100,000 player. That's just what.
Well, that's why I'm helping you tell me, Rich. But No.
But I'm saying that's a good point. But it did not say he was the world's most expensive player at any point.
Okay, fair enough.
Like how Trevor Francis, was he the world's most expensive player?
No, he was the.
So he was the first million pound
player.
But he wasn't the first. He wasn't the world's most expensive player.
He was the first £1 million player in this country, right?
So then that maybe that's what it is then. Maybe he was the first £100,000 player in British history, but in Europe that might have been beaten.
Yeah, possibly.
So it didn't say he was the world's most expensive player. So, and also the fact that even you're adjusting it for inflation. Today he is still the most expensive player in the world. But yet he chose to go to a team that he loved rather than a team he would have been successful at. Although when he did go to Newcastle, nobody would have thought that Newcastle wouldn't have been successful at that point. I mean, they'd finished second in the league already. They finished second that year as well. So it's no one at that point would have thought Newcastle wouldn't go on to be challenging Man United. So maybe he did go to a successful team, and it just so happened to be the team that he loved as well, so. But then you also think, he had like 3 major career-ending injuries, and he came back from all of them. How many more goals would he have scored had he not had those injuries? I don't know. Would he have scored another 100 goals? Maybe.
He probably would have been close to scoring another 100 goals, I reckon, if he didn't have those injuries.
Yeah. He was out for most of the season before France in 98, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was,
Yeah.
I remember, I think.
He missed at least a season and a half over his career with injuries. So it's tough. It is tough. This is why I don't like having to make the decision as well.
I mean, we've both already made our decisions.
Yeah, but, it's easy for you, because there's nothing on the line, is there? Like, he said Shearer. Well, I can just say Greaves, and then I'm hands up, I'm fine, like, I haven't got to make the big decisions. Next time I'm going to pick a player, and then you two can argue it out. I think I'm going to go with the statistics and go with Greaves as well, I think. I mean, it pains me to say, but that's the whole point of this Hall of Fame. It's supposed to be tough decisions.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Again, huge amounts of respect for Shearer. Absolutely phenomenal. And had he been playing at a team that consistently stayed towards the top end, he probably would have had more than one Premier League winners' medal. He probably would have won an FA Cup.
I think he's probably for our generation, he's a kind of a hero sort of thing for his performances for England in that Euro 96.
Euro 96 specifically, yeah.
He's a player I still look up to in that aspect, even though I don't support Newcastle or any teams to ever play for.
For that Euro 96 team, absolutely. However, I don't think he should have been there at France 98.
He was still the top striker at the time.
No, he was injured a lot going into that.
He did score in the tournament quite a few times.
But it's the Rooney debate again, isn't it?
Obviously, Michael Owen usurped him in that tournament.
I wouldn't have taken Rooney to the tournament the season that he was injured.
Definitely not Rooney. He was nowhere near ready for that.
No, he wasn't fit at all to be there.
But yeah, absolute legend and deserves way more respect than he's getting online at the moment, because I really don't know where that question came from. And had he never had those injuries, I mean, and they were 3 bad injuries, they were all potentially career ending, ACL, I think ICL was the other one. His anterior cruciate ligament, I think, was the other one. And then eventually it was a ankle injury that forced him to stop playing. Had he not had them, would he have scored another 100 goals? Maybe. I mean, it's only a season and a half, though.
I don't know, but his record is safe for now.
For now, yeah, I don't see anyone. I mean, Haaland, probably the only person playing at the moment that you could say would get close to it. But
if he sticks around long term, absolutely, yeah.
I definitely think Haaland is going to reach 100 goals quicker than any player in the Premier League.
Well, if he scores another 40 this season, then that'll put him into 80 in 2 seasons. So
he's on 38 now, right? Yeah, mental. Unless Real Madrid come calling for him or somebody else, he's going to have a great chance of breaking that record for sure.
Yeah, but until then, it does stand. So I'm
kind of happy it stood. I mean, not just because it's Harry Kane, but because I kind of like that Shearer still has it from that era.
Yeah.
This might sound a bit from racist, but I like the fact that an Englishman still holds it.
No, absolutely.
I mean, if Thierry Henry held it, I'd be even happy.
Yeah, you'd love that. You'd be well happy
with
that,
wouldn't you? You'd have that all day.
But, I think it would have been nice if Harry Kane broke it, because he would have broke it at one club as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Would have been, I think, a good achievement as well. I mean,
he could still break it technically.
Yeah,
he hasn't retired.
When he comes back to Arsenal later this season, in the January transfer window.
He's back at Arsenal, the team that he really loves.
Ever since he was a kid, we all know. We've all seen the picture. You lied to us. He's not one of our own. But no, I'm going to go with Jimmy Greaves. I think that, the stats don't lie,
Hips don't lie either.
Exactly. He's on tonight. And the other, like I said, he has a record 6 hat-tricks for England. He's won the top flight Golden Boot more than any player in history, and he still is the top flight goal scorer, because football didn't start in 1992.
Yeah, of course.
No matter how many people seem to think it did.
Yeah.
And Alan Shearer is only 5th on that list.
Only.
So, but everyone's saying about Alan Shearer's Premier League goal scoring record.
Okay,
but he's 5th on the top flight goal scoring
list.
Yeah.
So who's the other 3?
I did not write the other 3 people down. I didn't think I needed to.
That's fine. Or just guess. Dixie Dean.
Probably.
Ian Rush.
There was no.
No?
No. There was a Bobby in there.
Firmino.
Yeah, that's it. Like Woodhouse or something like that.
Lofthouse?
No, it wasn't Lofthouse.
Well, we'll have to
Anyway,
look that up. Yeah.
We'll have to have a look for next time.
Yeah, have to look that one up.
But yeah, and above all else, Jimmy Greaves played for Tottenham, so why not?
Yeah, I knew this would come up at some point.
Knew that was coming somewhere.
Yeah, it had to be mentioned.
Hey, no, genuinely, that wasn't my thinking behind it. My thinking was just he won a World Cup as well, for God's sake.
True.
I mean, we talk about players that we'd like to see, that played back then. Would have been nice to see in our lifetime. I think he's one of them.
Yeah.
See how good he would have been.
Well done, Jimmy Greaves. You are into our Sacked in the Morning Hall of Fame trademark. Wow. But Alan Shearer, I'm sorry, but yeah, you deserve some respect on your name. Well done.
So Alan Shearer and Maradona are both not in our Hall of Fame. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a prestigious Hall of Fame, man. Just before we wrap up today, I do need to thank our Patreon supporter, Cole Worley. Thank you very much for supporting us on Patreon. He is one of the hoi polloi, and he has access to this show early on our Patreon due to that, up to 2 weeks early. Also, unedited. If you want to hear all the swearing, if you want to hear stuff that didn't necessarily make it in there. I know, for instance, there was an argument between me and him that didn't make one of the episodes. You could have seen that, unedited, if you were a Patreon member. That is all for this week, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me, Tom.
Thanks for joining me.
Lee, thank you for remembering. Well done. Lee, have you had a good time? Did you enjoy it?
I've had a really good time, yeah. Hopefully I will be invited back for more.
Nah.
Hopefully.
Sorry, what? Oh, just say it out loud.
Hopefully Phelan will be on next time as well.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be a bloody cop out.
Yeah.
Maybe you're the same person. You never see you in the same room together at the same time.
You never know.
But no, thank you for joining us, Lee. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. I certainly hope you do join us again.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Fantastic. And thank you everyone for listening or watching, depending on how you have viewed this. And we will see you again next time. Take care.
Get sacked in the morning. Get sacked in the morning. You'll be gone without warning. All the best players have gone out on loan. You get sacked in the morning. And the contract will be paid off in full. Sacked in the morning. And there's plenty more clubs out on the pool. Sacked in the morning. Take it to the corner flag. No more questions from the local